Today I wanted to bring you guys my Necromancer build in progress because a lot of people have been curious as to what I'm running and why I like it. Now, this is also a suggestion style video, so if you're running Necromancer, think that I'm doing something wanky, or if I'm just doing something weird, you can let me know in the comments section. Maybe I could play around with what you are rocking as well. So let's start off with the skills and my primary attack. We're using Bone Spear as the primary attack, Bone Armor, not because I'm looking for the armor, but because of the modifications for damage. We also have Skeletal Mage, Command Skeletons, and Command Golem. So yes, of course, I'm going here with a PvE style Necromancer just for open world farming and really just clearing out mobs pretty quickly. So we're here at the Essence Transfer, so we can easily look at what we're actually wearing. Now, I want to put this out there. There's one piece that I don't yet have, and my gosh, I just can't seem to get this thing, and it's what I need, and it's this one right here. The Graven Bulwark, Bone Armor duration increased by 33%. Once I get this, it'll make me wearing bone armor even more potent. So I'm looking forward to grabbing that one, but it is yet to come. Just keep in mind what I'm wearing right now. I'm wearing something for bone wall because there's literally no pair of pants that helps out with any skill that I'm using right now. So it's just kind of whatever. But let's start out with the headpiece. Command Golem duration increased by 33%. So in this build, I'm utilizing 3 different pieces of set items or gear that are going to improve and make my golem stronger. So I have a 33% longer life golem. I also am wearing the shield that gives me command golem damage increased by 13%. So now he's up for 33% longer, and he is dropping 13% more damage. And in addition to that, I'm using the stone golem because I feel like you get more of an AoE effect from it. Now, keep in mind, I don't yet have the poison golem unlocked. I'm still in Hell 7. You need to get to Hell 8 before you can unlock the poison golem. Looking forward to trying that out. Some people say the molten golem is where it's at, but I've been messing around with the stone golem for now. Obviously, this can be switched out if I want to, but this is going to allow him to get another increased damage by 16%. So that takes, between the two of these, my damage increase from my golem is 19% increased, and it's up for 33% longer. So golem is a big part of this build. Now, of course, like I mentioned, the pants, they mean absolutely nothing. Bone wall, the chest piece, I'm using Cloak of Quills, and I absolutely love this. It's why I'm using bone armor. Now, of course, the bone armor still does protect me as well, but it won't any longer protect the things that I spawn. So here, thorns. Bone armor now causes your summons to continuously damage nearby enemies, but no longer protects them. Bone armor damage increased by 6%. So now, if you think about my golem that's in that pile of enemies, he's getting the 19% increased damage, plus now when he's equipped with the bone thorns, he's gonna get another 6% on top of that. In addition to my command skeletons, because over here, I chose to go with the command golem duration increased instead of going with something like, where is it? I was doing the skeletal, what is it? The big skeleton. Let me see if I can find it here. It's over here. I believe I just went past it. Command skeleton now causes your, no, not that one. This one right here. This is where I'm not sure if I'm doing it right or wrong, because I still have my 4 command skeletons. If I use the Crown of the Gilded Leash, I would then have a skeletal champion, which would drop 6% more damage. Now, think with me right here. When you have, now, of course, I would also be losing the golem 33% extended life, which I don't love because he definitely will be down for some time. Now, think of it like this. I'm using the 4 command skeletons. They're jumping out there, and they are then getting the Cloak of the Quill. So all 4 of those skeletons are getting the quills alongside of them and dropping damage on the enemies. If I use the command skeleton, there's only 1. Yes, he is larger, but there's only 1 versus the 4, which enhances the surface area of that damage. Something to keep in mind when we get a little bit deeper here. The shoulders that I'm wearing are black Kafkalade and Skeletal Mage damage is increased by 5% each time they defeat an enemy, up to a maximum of 30%, and it drops down the cooldown of my mage. Now, a lot of people that build necromancers, they go and they'll really build up the mage. They'll get the 33% more on the mage. I opted to do it with the golem because I'm utilizing the Cloak of Quills, which is essentially dropping a ton of damage on hordes of enemies, while my mage can kind of sit back a little bit. Now let's come on over here. I want to actually look at the skills so you can see how these things are modified. So you can see bone armor. It's going to absorb 33,000 damage for 12 seconds, but the thorns now drops 41,504 damage, and it has 6% increased from the chest that I'm wearing. Now, I was initially thinking that it was 41,504 damage per spawned beast that I have out there. So my command golem, my skeletal mage, and all 4 of my skeletal champions. But that would be 6, multiply that by 41,000, 6, 12, 18, it's like crazy amounts of damage, 240,000 damage. But I actually think it's now, upon looking at it, I think it's altogether 41,000 damage, no matter how many spawns are out there. Which leads me to believe that I can go with the big skeletal champion instead of the 4 regular command skeletons, because they'll still be dropping the same damage, but the skeletal champion itself will be dropping a bunch more damage because it's just stronger, plus it gets a 6% increase. But again, then I would lose the 33% extended time of my golem. Notice how I'm doing this like open discussion here. I'm kind of taking you through my thought process and how I think about putting together a build. Then we have our skeletal mage. And really all we got here was what we saw from the shoulders. We have our skeletons, which are really just kept the same. We did not change the skeletons, except for our charm is boosting by 2%. Now the golem is where we get a lot of buff here. 10,000 damage for 2 seconds, and then 3,632 having the monsters attack it. I love that. I don't know if monsters still attack it though when it's the rolling golem or the stone golem. So now it inflicts more damage, and it rolls through people or enemies for more damage, and it has a 6% enhancement, and it has 13% enhancement, and it has 33% extended life. So you see what I'm going with here for the golem. But let's actually see this in action. We'll go run an Elder Rift together so you can just see how I do it and how I actually place all of this. So we actually have just started out for the day. We haven't done anything but hopped on and started recording this video. And that means we have a rare crest to pick up over here. And we're going to pick that up. We're going to dive right in, and we'll just enter all alone just so we could focus on watching how I drop the damage and how I essentially use these skills. Again, let me know your suggestions. And this is a PvE build, not a build for PvP. All right, so what I'll typically do is I'll kind of get everything together here wherever we can find some. I'm going to try and get to some blue. Okay, we got enough, so I'm going to drop my golem, then my skeletons, then my mage, then the bone spikes. And look at these thorns go crazy. Thorns all around all of my spawns, completely demolishing. Now, once I get those pants, I'll be able to get that back a lot quicker, because as you can see right now, I don't have the thorns to drop. So the damage that I'm able to drop is significantly less. But back at this point in time, we're going to collect a little bit of this. It looks like there's a bunch of enemies around here. We're going to be able to get through this one pretty quickly. Let's come on over here. Again, golem, skeletons, mage, bone spikes. Boom. And we could just literally sit back and watch all of them take everything down. They literally drop so much damage. And I wish I had a more accurate, exact amount of damage that whole horde of my spawns would drop all together with the bone spikes being used. Here we go, another bone spikes. Look at them. Look at that. And this is why I'm talking about liking the 4 skeletons. You see the range, how spread out they are? Look at that. That's able to drop a ton of damage across a large area, where if I use the large command skeleton, then it's going to be more of a concentrated area, dropping damage on, less enemies at once. All right, we got to get up there. We're going to go to these blues. I'm going to take you through the whole rift so you can see how easy it is for me to take down a rift boss. It's literally the same process, and I absolutely love it. I was messing around with the 1 command skeleton. I forget what it's called, actually. I keep calling it the 1 command skeleton, but that's not what it's actually called. And I just felt stronger when I was using the 4 individual skeletons. And I don't know if you could tell from my videos lately or from just how I'm talking, but I'm absolutely loving the Necromancer, which makes me a little worried because when we finally do eventually, whenever the time comes, get the new class in the game. Oh, we got the charged core. This is great. I'm not gonna want to switch to from Necro. All right, so here we go. Boom, 2, 3 bone spikes. We could even drop our ultimate, and we can get right on top of there. Look at how he's going down so quickly, and this boss is dead that fast. We'll grab all of our stuff. We'll get on out of here, and we will just ask for your thoughts. What do you guys think of this build? Do you think it's silly? Do you think I put together it in a weird way? And if you want to take a look at some of my stuff, my damage is 9838, which is kind of low. Life is 96,501. Combat rating 10,889. So it's funny because my combat rating is lacking less than my damage and life. Now I definitely do, and I have not been able to get the Shepherd Call to Wolves, which is really what I want. I want to get this one to have 4 pieces. Summons are going to deal 15% more damage. I need 2 set items. And then critical hit chance increased by 3% for each of your summons to a maximum of 18%. Once I get at least 2 of these, I'm going to be seeing a lot more damage that I could drop on my opponents out in the field. I'm loving the Necromancer. Let me know what you think and how you would put this build together. And you know what? I gotta mess around and put together a PvP build as well, although I can't stand PvP in the game right now. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it.